Yes. So, oh, hey, we're going. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Two Nerds, One Quest. I'm Norman slamming, not mentioning he's started pre-show or post-show or intro music. I am your host and DM, JC, here with three nerds because math is hard. The man catching me off guard and pointing at me is Tom M. Norman, playing Aaron this morning.
That is all accurate, and haven't been to post show yet, so maybe I'll try to sneak something in there for you post show. I'm not sure what. Oh,
Okay.
sneak a little something in there for you.
Catch me off guard.
That
That other voice you hear dialing in from a remote location this morning, Ryan Crixus-Kukta. How you doing, buddy?
Great. I'm not overly remote. I'm actually closer to you guys now than I normally am. So the signal strength should be unbelievable.
Ooh,
Less remote.
he's less remote than usual.
There you go.
And of course, the Lazy Dragon, the lore master, coming straight out of the Lazy Dragon in his basement, Jeff Doc Williams.
Welcome to Sunday morning, everyone.
Sunday morning. Okay.
Hey, good morning to all the mothers out there.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah.
It's
Yes.
apparently
Happy
it's Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day, everybody.
Happy Mother's Day, guys.
We'll see if, yeah. That's actually, Aaron, do you have a mother? Or is she dead?
I think my family is dead.
Your whole family's dead? You get typical tragic rogue backstory?
Mm-hmm.
Getting in deep here already.
Crixus, does Crixus have a mother?
Yeah, it's part of his backstory as well. His mother was murdered in front of him.
Ooh, wow. Dark. This is, maybe I shouldn't be bringing this up. Although it is D&D, right? And so parents being dead is a normal thing.
It's a trope. It's for sure a trope.
For sure. Doc,
At
Doc have a mom?
the other end of the spectrum, mine is in a mine and is a perfectly normal family that just mines.
Yeah.
So,
Mine.
no big thing.
Mine. No big thing.
The opposite of the murdered family, mine is just working hard.
Hardly working.
For a dwarf, that's the case.
Banging rocks.
Not the only thing.
No, that's
she's
not
banging.
code. Apparently, yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently his dad too, right? All right, Jeff, do you have a recap of last session for us?
Yeah, and maybe premature for the arcs. I feel like we ended an arc last session, cashing in on all of the quests we had. So if anyone's keeping track, that would have been like session 30 through 53. And I'm calling that arc from Neverwinter to Always Winter. If anyone's keeping track.
We should do. It sounds like we should do a review show next week.
Well, the last
maybe
review
Thursday.
show had like 3 arcs worth, so we've got time.
Oh, okay.
So last session, Doc did not find Torga at her house, so everyone went back and had dinner at the east side, had some discussion with Marta about the darkness, learned a few things, but learned that most people don't know a whole lot. Doc went out to watch the midnight lights and had an interaction with Torga where she made an offer to have him join them because she's apparently missing her guard.
Jeff, this doesn't rhyme.
I'm getting there.
Sorry.
Wake up in the morning.
Nice.
Ellie got a new job as waitress. Then we went and talked to Torga, talked to Speaker Matthew, and then headed to Bryn Shander to cash in on our quest. Cashed in with Lynn, for the killing of Safik the murderer. We cashed in with Danica by giving her the Chewinga, and decided to take an evening to ourselves at the Northlook. So, the rhyme that the DM wants to hear. The Frost Maiden's doing a crime. Icewind Dale's dark and cold all the time. This small, unnamed band will free this great land, and that is my everlasting rhyme.
Nice. Very nice. That has been an interesting thing this week in our discussions, just as a behind-the-scenes thing, trying to come up with a quote-unquote team name for this group of adventurers. Anything from wrestling terms to, oh gosh, just all kinds of references.
All sorts of inappropriate. What are they called when you take the first letter of every word? And acronyms. Yep. Many acronyms.
Many acronyms. Yes.
So should we start off with some ideas? Let's get this team naming out of the way.
Put up a poll.
Maybe.
Do we let the audience pick the team name?
That's the best idea I heard in a long time.
We'll do it. We won't do it today. I mean, we'll put it up. We can put up a straw poll and put a link in the or we can use the Showbot if we wanted to. After the show, throw in all the names we suggested or came up with that we liked. We want to let them name it?
Let's throw the names out there, because I can do a poll right from chat here.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
And then next week we can vote after we narrow it down to like 4 or 5 names.
Okie dokie.
All right, who wants to go first?
I'm letting you guys name it. I'm the DM, so.
I just got to get to my notes.
All right, so I'll go first.
Right now.
So I have 2. First one, we're the Bangers and Mash.
Bangers and Mash.
Give us a little context there. Why should we vote for that?
Why? Because it's funny.
State your case.
I don't state my case. I don't have a case for that.
That's it. Your case is it's funny.
It's the Bangers and Mash.
I'm good with that.
You know, three bangers, 1 mash. I don't know. I mean,
okay, what's the next one, Tom?
That kind of goes in line with our conversation about it being Devil's Four-Way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that was
dark.
Dark.
What's your other one that you had, Tom?
All right, the other one is not funny. It's just because we were on the topic of music and stuff. So I was thinking the Benningtons, or the Bennington crew, the Bennington gang.
Oh my gosh! As a Linkin Park fan, if that's literally where you're pulling this from, that is an awesome honorific that you'd win a small chunk of the DM's heart for that.
But it actually sounds like a gang, like you would find in a in a traveling group of rogues and ne'er-do-wells, and then apparently Ellie.
Q shipping up to Boston.
Whoa!
Or
yeah.
We'll have to get you a bunch of the like scallywag hats.
Have you seen? Holy crap! I just blanked on it from Netflix. What's that?
Peaky Blinders.
Mm-hmm.
I have not watched it yet.
Where they have those hats, but they have razor blades in them, so they take them off and they use them as weapons.
Oh shit! Really? I really need to watch that now.
It's good. I got through season 3, and then it starts to, you know how seasons tend to slog down after around season 4 or 5. I need to finish it, but yeah, the first several seasons are good.
Ryan Kukta.
All right, you go first.
Go ahead, Genius.
Oh yeah.
All right, I'll go. So similarly comparable to the music thing, and also apparently a wrestling maneuver, Meteora. It's a wrestling maneuver where you basically jump on someone's shoulder with your knees and slam them to the ground. And it's very entertaining to watch. I had to Google it or YouTube it and see that. Also, an album from Linkin Park.
Second studio release from Linkin Park. So,
and
under their label.
To me, it kind of feels, with the meteor in it, it kind of feels almost like a spell name, kind of a magical kind of thing. So that.
Wasn't that the name of a spell in Final Fantasy?
Yeah, I think they
like
the
a
limited
triple
character. I think it was Mateo. Yeah. They couldn't get the end of it on it. So that was my suggestion.
Just that one.
All right. I've got a loosely related wrestling one. The New Dawn. There's a wrestling crew called The New Day, and we would be bringing the New Dawn. I also have a music group, Shocker and the Lightbringers.
Okay.
And my funny one is the Shock Knockers.
Shock knockers.
That's good. Shock knockers.
Shock knockers. I know which one I like.
Should I put up a poll just right now since we have...
Yeah, throw up a poll right now and let people vote on it. And I'm going to throw my vote in there. Or I'm not actually in the chat, so I can't. But yeah, throw one up there. So you guys are... we kind of left you guys at downtime, didn't we? Wrestling.
Yeah, because this is kind of or at least it started out as kind of a learning show. Was there anything about leveling up that anyone wants to talk about from a meta level before just in game it happens?
That is a good question.
We kind of talked post show about Doc. Doc took another level in fighter, and fighters at level 6 just get a stat bonus. So he rounded out his con and dex to even numbers so that the bonuses each went up, increasing initiative to +2, armor class to 16, and hit points are now 70.
Ooh, you actually are kind of a tanky little guy now.
70, I can't even imagine.
What was your other team name there, Cooch? The middle one? The
Shocker and the Lightbringers.
I'll talk about Crixus is really distracted from his cleric, I guess from his original concept, and is constantly pulled more in the Bard category. So Crixus took his first level of Bard.
It's very, very cool. I don't know how many people remember, well, if you were here, the kind of what's happening with Ellie. The dragon fight where she took and ended up with that shock of white in her blonde hair. That's actually kind of affected her in a way that she was not expecting, and she's going to be dipping her toe in the sorcerer pool when I do level her.
Awesome.
Just kind of diversify our healers out a little bit here.
I'm into it.
Aaron,
yes,
what
sir.
happened with you? You've been studying the Dummy's Guide to Monkeys.
Yeah, so what happened was during some of our overnight stays and over, our resting periods, I would pull out the book, my Monk for Dummies, and finally some of it is starting to stick. So I am practicing my hand-to-hand combat, and
he woke up in the morning, looked at Crixus, and said, "I know kung fu."
Yes.
Show me.
Yes.
So that is where
Round one.
I'm
Fight.
going to be practicing my hand fighting skills and once I start leveling up, I'll be better. So you will see me without armor now, because armor
You're gonna
take.
be naked.
I'm gonna be naked.
It's gonna be hard in the cold.
It's gonna be hard all the time.
Small
What's going to be hard in the cold?
Yes.
nipples.
All of it. All of it.
Can't have that on Twitch. Oh, wait. Just can't show it on
No,
Twitch.
feet.
Correct.
Feet.
Yeah, you
no
can
feet.
show nipples all day.
You cannot show nipples on stream. No man nipples, no woman nipples.
Like if I like reached in my shirt and pulled my nipple off and just held it out, I don't think they'd have a problem with that. Well,
I'd
maybe
have
they
a problem
would.
with it.
That's a little gross.
We
I have
immediately
a
get
big
taken out.
problem with that.
Yeah.
Oof. Anyways,
I'm interested to see the interaction. I have not seen a monk rogue mix played out yet, so I'm interested to see how the monk weapons and the sneak attack work together, because that will be
be
fun.
fun.
Well,
He's
the
gonna
weapons
be-
are
Could
kind
really-
of the same, because like the short sword is a monk weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
My dagger.
He's gonna be
my...
very quick.
It's gonna put a little more emphasis and oomph into my wrestling moves going forward.
I like it.
It'd be fun.
Also,
So you guys-
the poll can't go up because apparently it is inappropriate content. I'm guessing Shocker and maybe Bangers.
Shocker, the bangers and I'm thinking Shocker and the Lightbringers maybe, or Shock Knockers.
Yeah, I'm thinking
That seems like
Well, I mean, you can certainly eliminate shock knockers. It's not the best one out there.
no.
I'll try to.
Funny, but not the best one. I mean, I know where I'd vote. So you guys are sitting in the Northlook. Wait, is that the tavern?
Yep.
Sorry, in
Yes.
Gender. Yeah. Okay. So you're in the Northlook Tavern in the morning. As you're sitting there, kind of discussing what you want to do next, there's a couple of things. You hear, you overhear a couple of conversations. One at the bar. There's two guys sitting there talking, and the one guy says that, yeah, you know, they say the Frost Maiden lives on a misty isle hidden out. It's out in the sea of moving ice. It's hard to get out there though. But that's where they say she lives. I don't know about that. I don't know if I believe in her, but this darkness is really kind of getting annoying. And then at a table next to you, there is this elf that is all fancy clothing, actually very rich looking, and he's like, I keep telling everyone, you know, this everlasting rhyme thing, this Frostmaiden thing, that this isn't her doing. This isn't her. This is actually the Arcane Brotherhood. Yeah, they're plotting to take over 10 towns. That's what's going to happen. There's a wizard who was burned at the stake back in East Haven. He admitted to being one of them and said that there are other Arcane Brotherhood wizards lurking among us. They're I tell you, I bet it's Valish Gant. He's behind it all, no doubt. He's locked away in Revel's End, but that doesn't make him any less dangerous. Maybe someone should find out what he knows. Maybe find out where the other wizards are. That could be. That's. It's not the Frost Maiden. It's the Arcane Brotherhood. I tell you, it's them. And the woman sitting next to him is just kind of. She's got her arms crossed. She's like, yep, yep.
You
Takes
said he was
another-
locked away in the Devil's End.
Revels. Revel.
Intriguing.
What would you guys like to do?
I would like to hear more about this Arcane Brotherhood. Tell me more.
You can go talk to this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like it.
All right. You approach the table, and this guy's he's think the whoa aliens guy, but way more energy. It is like literally that. Yeah, can you? Oh, see, they know they're coming. They're coming. They agree with me. This guy right here knows it's the Arcane Brotherhood. He's pointing at Aranon, and she kind of looks, lady, brunette, both shoulder length hair, completely nonplussed by this, and just like what? Sure, whatever. And
Excuse me,
kind
sir.
of looks at you and raises an eyebrow.
I would love to hear more about this Arcane Brotherhood. What can you tell me?
The Arcane Brotherhood. You don't
Yeah.
know of the Arcane Brotherhood. Well, they have a tower in Luskin. And they're planning this darkness that they've got everyone convinced this is Arl. This isn't Arl. This isn't the Frost Maiden. This is them. They're going to take over 10 towns. They want to take over 10 towns.
Why?
It's
Why would they want to take over 10 towns?
Why wouldn't they? It's fantastic.
I mean, you have a very fair and valid point. I can see that. Have you ever talked to the Arcane Brotherhood at all? Do you know anybody there?
I talk to the Arcane Brotherhood. No, I avoid the Arcane Brotherhood, but they are very, very. That's like I said, Revel's End. That's Valish Gant is locked away there. He is locked away there. He's the one in charge. He will know where the other members of the Brotherhood are. They walk among us, all secretive.
Where is this Revel's End?
Revel's End? Revel's End is Revel's End. It's a prison, and it's locked away on the coast of the Sea of Moving Ice. It's a large tower prison. There's guard barracks there, and it's a tower prison. It's a prison. It's walled in. Have you seen a prison before?
Yes.
Did you say Sea of Roving Ice?
Moving ice.
Moving.
Moving ice. The moving ice.
Apparently I can't hear shit today.
You're only off by a letter. It's not too bad.
It's okay. It's early in the morning, sir. Have some coffee. Maybe put a little something in it to liven it up.
It's clear you.
I'm on my
had
fifth
several.
cup.
I actually thought about that, to be honest with you.
That's a fancy looking cup there. Your fingers go right into it.
Yeah, they do. It's my special cup.
Has
Keeps my
so
hands
many,
warm in this frigid wasteland.
so many things.
So many things.
So many things about sticking your fingers in a cup.
Wow. You, sir, have a dirty mind. You could approach if you wanted to. You could get to Revel's End by land if you wanted to, or by air, or by sea if you wanted to, because it's on the coast. So, but it is controlled by the Lord's Alliance. So, if you know anyone in the Lord's Alliance, they might be able to help you get in and talk to any of the prisoners there.
Who's the Lord's Alliance?
You don't know who the Lord's Alliance is?
Simba.
Simba. Who's
He's
Simba?
the Lord of the Lion. Lord of the Lions.
Lord of the Lions. Oh, I saw that.
Very different. I imagine.
I saw that play. The Lord's Alliance is it's like it's a confederation, a group of like it includes like Baldur's Gate and Neverwinter and Waterdeep, Daggerford, like a bunch of cities. They all kind of got together, and their leaders are kind of together and working together, like an alliance. You know, like when you have allies. Yeah. So it's like all those cities, political structures, kind of got together and said, "Hey, let's work together and for the greater good," right?
So they got a prison up on the Sea of Moving Ice. Could throw your trash out somewhere else, right?
Sounds about right. Yep. That's yeah. So, but yes. That's where you should go. Find Valish Gant. He's behind all this. He's locked away there in Revel's End. You find out what he knows.
Doc wouldn't have a whole lot of information on any of the verifying any of this, the truth of anything he's saying, because he's not from this far north. But maybe Crixus or Aranon could at least fact check some of the things he said about the Lord's Alliance that maybe they would have known from living up here.
Crixus, you recall the Lord's Alliance. You also, all four of you, recall the tower, the wizard tower in Luskin. No one ever connected the name Arcane Brotherhood to it for you, but you remember it being mentioned when you went through Luskin. Mm-hmm. Ellie kind of is nodding along with the Lord's Alliance, like, yes, she remembers all of this. That, yeah, this is, this type thing. And Crixus, you're kind of nodding along. Aranon, you just kind of lumped it. You may have heard that name in the past, but you just kind of lumped it along with other political or authoritarian figures that you'd rather avoid. So, Doc, it may have come to you in passing here or there, but it's something like, oh, okay, yeah, sure, that makes sense. Kind of living outside of the norm of society.
Well, thank you for the information, sir. It will help shape our quest moving forward, so your value is appreciated.
Oh, I'm just glad someone's going to look into it. This everlasting right thing is getting annoying, and if it's just the Arcane Brotherhood, I mean, that's not like going up against a god or anything. That's just some wiggly finger guys, right?
Wacky waivers?
Yeah, exactly. Those things I've seen those outside of like the marketplace. I don't know how they get those to work, but they're kind of fun. So yeah, okay. Good luck. I'm gonna go get more coffee.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw him a copper. Here, have a coffee on me.
Oh, thank you. Okay, yeah. He grabs the copper and he goes over to the bar.
The one who mentioned the Frost Maiden living on a frosty isle, I'd like to chat and just say, like, where might this frosty isle be? What did you anything else about that?
The dwarf that's at the yeah.
Sure.
He kind of comes over, or you go over to him, approach him at the bar, and he says, "Oh yes, there's an island out in the sea of moving ice. Kind of tough to get out there, but there is a whale. You can actually go to a dock. There's a dock that you can get to. There's a bell, and you ring the bell on the dock, and this whale will come to the dock. It has a boat on its back, and you can ride that boat. It knows how to get to this island."
That is something I would love to see. That sounds amazing.
Fascinating. Is that like the Shovel Knight, that giant whale that gives you all the... Oh.
Yes?
Maybe.
For those of you who've played Shovel Knight.
And you say the Frost Maiden lives on this island.
Yes, that is where she lives.
It's an interesting place for a god to live.
Mm-hmm. It's where she stays. So be careful. Going out there though, okay? Just be careful.
Why?
The whale, he may be a bit skittish.
Interesting. We'd have to protect him and to protect our interests.
Yes.
Indeed. Appreciate your assistance, good sir.
You are very welcome.
All right, I'm gonna walk away then, and go sit back down.
Okay.
Yeah, we should reconvene the crew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he seemed crazy, right? Like crazy,
The
kind of
elf?
crazy,
Yeah.
off his rocker crazy, but like making a lot of sense.
I know the Lord's Alliance. I know the tower he was referring to. I didn't know that was the Arcane Brotherhood, but
I shall say this: if there's any entity in this world that is aware of what could be the cause here, the Arcane Brotherhood might be a good place to start. They would have a lot of knowledge.
Yes. If they're not involved, I think that's a great suggestion because they probably could help us a lot. But if they are involved, that could be like walking into a trap.
Maybe we can set up a meeting. Maybe not in their place. Maybe we can do something where we meet them at a bar or at a park in the open. That way, they're less likely to attack us. Or, I would like to talk to them about this.
I think, unsure about the validity of these guys' claims. I think it still might be handy to talk to the speaker, Duvessa Shane, here in town, and just see maybe if either of these stories link up with anything she knows about, or if these are just two people ranting in an inn over breakfast.
that might be worth checking out.
That does sound like a good idea. Either way, I think we need this information to kind of point us in the right direction.
Well, I will say both stories involved heading towards the Sea of Moving Ice. So I think there's no question our quest would draw us in that direction.
Truth.
So, are we
Visiting
going-
the speaker.
We're visiting the speaker then? Okay.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, that makes sense. Let's go see if we.
We're off to see the speaker, the wonderful speaker
Wonderful
of
speaker of Brinchander.
Brinchander. We hear he is a speaker of a speaker, if ever a speaker there was. That's it. That's all I got.
As you guys are walking, Ellie kind of says, "Well,
Can we get Aaron on a heart when we're there?
I was thinking
Wow.
you needed a brain."
Wow. Hey! Hey now.
No, the heart is more appropriate.
Ouch, bro.
diving through the window, the shuttered window.
Yeah, no, that
It's a reference point for that comment, honestly.
that mushed my brains. I do.
Yes,
I
he
suppose
needs
it
a
would mean that I
replacement
would
now.
need a new one, but it still hurts. It still hurts. Come on.
Yeah, I imagine it does. So you go to the speakers. Let's see, Bryn Shander. I have a map of Bryn Shander here. Does she have an office? We'll say she has an office. Council hall. Yeah, there you go. So you go to the council hall to talk to the speaker. It's a guard out front. Says, "Can I help you?" Big beard, bushy beard coming out from underneath his, like, you see his little beady eyes behind all the clothing, and it's just the tip of his nose, and then this big ass bushy beard.
We're here to speak to Duvessa Shane.
The speaker. She just came in. Yeah. Well, one moment, please. Wait here. And he goes inside and he comes back on. May I ask who you are?
T.B.D.
T.B.D. May I ask what this is about?
Indeed, we are a traveling party looking to hopefully bring an end to the endless night. And we are trying to confirm some information that perchance the speaker may have access to or knowledge of.
Uh,
I
are you
believe
the
it
same
is in
group
the
that
Venice.
Are you the same group that recovered the ore for Black Iron Blades?
Indeed, and we are the same that we have cleared mines in other towns. We are, may I say, we are
Many
the
travel.
doers of good. Yes, we are doers of good in this area.
We are
of Ten
the
Towns.
Dragon Slayer of the South.
Dragon Slayers of the South, the returners of the ore to Black Iron Blades, and the mine clearers.
I'm
Termaline.
going to make a big flourish at your service, sir.
Basically, what you guys are saying are, we're kind of a big deal.
And then I turn back to the party. Is like, guys, they've heard of us, but they don't know who we are. We need to get our message out.
Maybe we
need
should
to
say we're the Kitty
solidify
Slayers.
Pause. Ryan says TBD. John says you're kind of a big deal. TBD, the big deal. I mean, can I add that as my second suggestion for
Yes.
a team name?
Yes.
That may just
The
end
big
up being
deal.
the name because of how natural it was. I still have the other name I'd like, but
I just watched that happen. That was amazing.
he goes, it's kind of cool and stuff like that. So he goes back in and he, about 3-4 minutes pass, he comes back out, he goes, she will see you, yes. Please, don't cough into a microphone. Please leave your weapons here, just inside the door. And he steps inside and he's got this large box, and he flips the lid open, and there's a padlock on it. And he motions for you to place your weapons in the box. That's large enough.
Does the padlock look anything like the one that we sold?
No, nothing like that.
Just checking. Poke.
All right,
poke.
Crixus will put his hand axes in there for sure.
Yep. I'm going to put everything that's visible in there. So my 2 shooters, my 2 swords, and my bow.
Okay, make a deception check.
This will go well, right? No problems. Nothing to see here.
Should not be difficult, honestly. If you fail this will be hilarious.
14.
Yeah, you're good. You drop your stuff in there, and
I hope it's a big box. Yeah, I got bulwark, smasher, the axe, a dagger, a hand axe, 2 javelins, and a maul.
oh yeah, it's like the size of a large desk, really. Seriously. So all this stuff fits in there, and he closes the lid, puts the padlock on, locks it, and hands you guys the key. He said, "You bring that back. We'll unlock your stuff when you're done."
It's like putting your stuff when you go to the pool. Just throw your stuff into a
It's a locker,
and
yeah.
take the key.
Little sliding basket.
Yeah, love to see the D&D version of that at Joanne's.
Yep, yeah, exactly.
Oh my god.
And you guys enter, and Speaker Defessa Shane. Looks like that.
Sure.
You can see the reflection of you guys in there. Anyways, she is sitting behind the desk, and she's got kind of her head in her hands, and she is writing letters. And you see her actually fold it up and seal one, and look up at you and says, our new local heroes. What can I do for you? My name is Speaker Duvessa Shane. I am the speaker for not just Bryn Shander, but 10 towns as a whole. I'm the head of the Council of 10.
Crixus opens up his stance and looks to Aranon.
So, Side note, what were we asking about first? Were we asking about the Lord's Alliance, or were you going to ask about the Arcane Brotherhood?
Start
Well, I
with the
think
darkness.
we've heard a couple rumors, so start with generally the darkness and then drill into some of the rumors that we've heard about the Arcane Brotherhood, Valish Gant,
Okay.
and then the Dock Whale. I want to hear more about this.
All right.
Hang on, I did that wrong. There.
So I'm going
to me,
say, well, mighty speaker, we are inquiring about the darkness. We've heard some things, and we want to hear it from somebody of knowledge. I'm gonna kind of play up to his role and kind of
Her.
or I'm sorry, her
Yep.
role, and kind of poke that ego a little bit to see if we can get some extra info out of her.
Well, it's best we can figure is the everlasting rhyme produced by Arl. She, for some reason, has us cursed in this darkness and cold. We don't know a lot about it beyond that. It's refreshing that someone's actually here wanting to try and do something about it. It's just become a way of life for us. I fear that 10 Towns will just become, it's already starting, this desolate, unhappy, cold, unfriendly place.
Was there, when the darkness first came, was there an inciting incident? Was there something that happened that caused it? Like, was there like a loud thunderclap, or was there like a meteor shower? Did something shoot up from the earth and suddenly it was dark? Was there some kind of event that started this?
That's the only thing I can think of is there was a comet that fell from the sky, and I don't know, this just sounds weird. When you mentioned that, there were people that were having it happened in the mountains to the south of 10 Towns, not too far away. They said people were getting like messages in their head in like some sort of gibberish, some language that they couldn't make out. It's just very strange. And slowly those stories, I mean, they still come around once in a while. Someone will get these messages, but that's the only thing I can think of that was like that happened near the beginning of all of this.
But nobody knows what that message is. They don't understand it.
No, it's no language or communication. We've been trying to study it. Well, we tried studying it for like 6 months, trying to break it like a cipher, but no one can make heads or tails of what it is.
Interesting. And you say this happened at the same time as the darkness came?
Not at the same time the darkness started, yeah.
Within, it kind of all generally happened around the same time?
Yeah, it's hard to pin it down to exact times, but it may be related. That's the only natural occurrence I can see that happened around the same time that was extraordinary.
Does anybody know if the comet is still there?
It's in the mountains. I don't know if anyone actually went to look at it.
I'm going to kind of glance over at everybody just to kind of like,
We don't get a ton of adventurers up here, to be honest. We're a fishing community, essentially. We've been able to maintain that through the hot springs and in the Sea of Moving Ice, we've been able to still maintain some amount of trade and commerce, but it's dwindling. It's difficult times since the curse.
Well, I don't know why you wouldn't get more adventures up here. It's a beautiful area.
It's freaking cold.
Ah, it doesn't mean it's not beautiful.
And what do we have up here? We have fish.
I like fish.
Well, I'm glad. I'm glad you guys are here. It's someone to actually maybe do something about this. That and the fact that this is supposedly caused by Arl. You don't get a lot of. I mean, sure, maybe we get adventurers up here, but not ones that weren't willing to take on a goddess.
Speaker, a rumor we have
Yes.
heard involved the Arcane Brotherhood, specifically an individual named Valish Gant.
Oh, yeah, he's been locked away at Revel's End. He's been taken care of. He got a little, shall we say, eccentric. And
Indeed.
yeah, kind of had a fight in a town south of here. So they brought him up and locked him in Revel's End just because it's a good place. The Southerners tend to think, just stick him up here in the cold, away from everyone, and then they can forget about him.
Yes.
Revel's End is not a nice place, let's just put it that way. It's a prison of all the miscreants and ne'er-do-wells that the South does not want to deal with.
Indeed. So send the prisoners north of the wall, right?
Basically, yes. There's a wall?
Nah,
Oh.
never
Okay.
mind that.
Oh, you're talking. Oh, yeah. I did see that play. Yes. Yeah. I'm glad we don't need a wall. That's all I'm saying.
I hear also tell of the Lord's Alliance,
Yes.
potentially with some information in relation to this. Can you speak to the Lord's Alliance and whether they have power here?
I can talk to the Lord's Alliance. They don't have a representative in 10 towns necessarily. I would be that one, I would guess, being the leader of the Council of 10. So I can send word to the Lord's Alliance and try and have a representative sent up here, if you like.
It may be beneficial as we may swing back through here to have any information they would have access to as well.
All right. I may. You may be able to help me in a couple of ways. I mean, I do appreciate you taking on this everlasting rhyme, this darkness. If you don't feel quite up to a god, get back to me after checking out this Arcane Brotherhood thing you seem to have going on. I'll get my contacts, but come back to me later. I will have I have a project for you that may require your specific set of skills. Yes, thank you. You and me both are the same wavelength. Yes, your particular set of skills. So you she has a stack of letters stuff, and she said, could you do me a favor? Can you hand these to my guard on the way out? And he's gonna take them and mail them.
Yes. Do you meet with the other speakers on a regular basis?
Typically once every 3-4 months. So we all get together and have a council meeting, yeah.
Okay. If knowing that you've got us looking into this, I don't know if when you get together, if just even if it's pooling the rumors and pooling anything just to bring back to us, so we don't necessarily have to meet with each of them individually, just to kind of put everything up on the board so we can kind of sort through the chaff.
Okay.
See what
Yeah. Let me actually hang on a minute, and She takes out a stack of like it looks like pre-written letters, and then just signing the bottom of like 9 of them and folding them and stamping them. She said, "These are just kind of a report. I ask for reports from them. Anything strange that's coming out." And she's signing them and folding them and signing them and folding them and writing. And you see her write Tourmaline, just various different city names from the 10 towns. And she's got, yeah. And she writes all that out on there and then says, "Here, put these with the other ones, and I'll get a status report in the next couple days here from everyone. Where things stand, any strange new rumors, whatnot."
I have only one last question, and I'll defer to the rest of my team. But how far is the travel to Revel's End?
To Revel's End from where you're at? Ooh, that may be... Oh, where the hell's my map? I have a map. I have a very big map. Revel's End is probably... Revel's End is probably about 3 days north of Lonely Wood. That's if you have axe beaks or dog sleds. If you're traveling by foot, it's probably closer to 5 days.
Well, it's a good thing we have dog sleds.
So if we left for Revel's End, we would be back within a week. It would be great if we could hear some additional reports from the other 10 towns upon our return.
That I could. I will definitely have reports back by then, for sure. Yes. Is there anything else I can do for you, gentlemen and lady? My apologies.
If you could find someone that maybe had those voices in their head, I'm sure we would love to talk to them when we came back as well.
I see what I can do.
If
Voices in their head. How absurd.
Shut up! Shut up!
I really... Hang on a second. Oh. Does Ellie have a message? She doesn't, I don't think. But that would be hilarious right now to message Crixus and say, "Is it really that absurd, sir?" So, no. She kind of says yes, and in a language that no one understands. That does seem very strange. I will see what we can do about finding someone.
We've heard about a whale with a boat on its back. Have you heard of that? And is it anywhere near Revel's End?
Oh, that's well.
Or is it real?
That's a Gujak. Is his name? His name is a Gujak. He is very real. It's not. That's more to the west of 10 towns than north. About probably the same distance, maybe a little less, as Revel's End. Maybe 2.5 days by dog sled. From Lonely Wood, this is. Maybe 3.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a bit skittish. He does help us though. From time to time, the Sea of Moving Ice.
Indeed.
A bit about him. He was a companion of a druid of the area named Anga. She at one point in time apparently cast Awaken on him. He can talk to us. He's sentient. He's intelligent. he helps us. He understands what we do here, and for that, we also help try and protect him. So,
Indeed. How does one speak to this whale?
he'll talk to you if you summon him at the dock. He'll talk to you in your head.
Huh.
So maybe it's not quite so crazy.
What was the name of the druid?
Anga.
Anga.
Anga. There's not much that is known about her, other than her whale companion, who we actually found. We found him. He was near death. He had an encounter with a rock. Not a piece of stone, but a large bird. And he's got scars across his side. He was washed up on the beach with these massive scars on his side. And we healed him and got him back in the water. Before that, he's been helping us move and navigate the sea of moving ice.
All right. Well, no one can talk to a whale, of course. Unless to a whale, that whale is the famous Mr. Gujek.
I got nothing.
We stumped Norm. All right. Does that answer all your questions?
I think I'm set.
Fantastic. Please give those letters to Jareth. That's my guard up front. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll see you guys in about a week.
Indeed. As we walk away, is there area where we are unaccompanied?
There's a hallway. The door will close behind you. Hallway leading to the main entry area that you kind of have a few minutes alone before you get to that front door. Even that main entranceway, no one's in there. The guard is posted outside on the other side of a door.
Aranon, should we avail ourselves of the information in those letters?
I think you may have read my mind.
No doubt.
Are they... Did she seal them with wax or anything, or are they just...
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, they're all sealed with wax. With a wax seal.
Not great.
Is there a candle... First of all, is there actually a place where we could kind of hide off to the side?
Not really. You have there were a couple of doors off to each side that I don't know if you want to try those doors. It was a long hallway. Her door was at the end of it, but then it comes into kind of an entrance way where the lockbox is. And there's like 3 other lockboxes in there. And then there's the door to outside, and just outside that there's like a foyer style covering that keeps the guards out of the wind stuff. So
Doc's gonna just kind of say, she doesn't really know us. It seems like a trust experiment. I wonder if this is a test. So just be careful.
there are no candles per se nearby.
So my thought, boy,
I'm much less interested knowing that we would be breaking the seal.
Who are they addressed to? I guess that, other than the ones we saw her write.
As you go through the ones that you saw her write, the different speakers for each of the towns, and then you get back through the ones that she was going to hand you initially, and it's more letters to those same speakers.
What is there a letter in there for the speaker of the town that has by Revel's End?
By Lonelywood?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there would be 2 letters there to the speaker of Lonelywood. And if you give me a second, I can tell you that speaker's name.
Bill.
Richard.
Chuck.
Holy shit.
No, Mr. Bill.
It's better than Bill. It is Speaker Nimsy Huddle. Nimsy Huddle. Huddle. Yes, Speaker Nimsy Huddle.
Nipsey Hustle.
That's exactly what I was. That's exactly what
I read it and I went, oh my god.
What if we kept these 2 letters and handed the rest off and then went around the corner, read them, and then came back as an excuse saying we thought we left something behind, and then dropped the letters like they got dropped?
No, better option. We asked the guard if we could deliver it. We're headed to the Lonely Wood.
Ooh,
We'll have plenty of time.
That is a better option. I'm down for that. Those would be the only 2 letters that would interest me, I think, at this point. Thoughts?
I don't see an issue with it. We may want to, I mean, if we're going to go up and deliver the letters to Lonelywood, and
I think we have to go through Targos and Tourmaline on the way there.
Ellie's,
Only
yeah,
because that's
and
the way we were going.
Yep, I am.
I can only remember that much of the map at a time.
I am on the same wavelength that you are there. Oh crap, that's not what I wanted. Yeah, I'm on the same wavelength you are, Doc. I think if we're in Bryn Shander, we should probably take Targos, Bremen, Tourmaline, and Lonelywood. It's going to be a bit out of our way to hit Targos and Bremen, but it's going to make us look less suspicious. If that's your goal, is to look less suspicious. Unless we're going to we could just grab Tourmaline and Lonelywood and just head straight north.
I think that it would be in our best interest just to grab the ones that we're going through. I don't want to turn into the post office at this point.
Well, then we should at least grab Tourmaline's then too. We can head back to Tourmaline the way we came.
Mm-hmm.
We know where the speaker route usually is.
Yeah, we know where the speaker's there. And then Lonelywood's north of Tourmaline on our way to Revel's End. So
here's a question that
those.
popped up. Does somebody have a mending spell?
Doc does not, because he has no spells.
Crixus has mending.
That's an interesting thing.
As a cantrip.
Mm-hmm.
And cantrips can be used as many times as necessary?
At will.
At will.
Yep, and mending will, I think it's less than a certain area, but I think it's like a foot or 6 inches or something like that.
1 square foot, I believe, or cubic foot. You can mend something within size of 1 cubic foot.
Is the seal less than 1 cubic foot?
You would be able to mend the seal with magic. Yes, you would be able to.
Here's the seal.
Yeah, right. Yeah, the letter's like a 6x9 piece of paper, and then the seal's like 12 by 12 by 12.
It's encased in wax.
She just dips it. Takes her about 20 minutes to seal it.
She put her handprint there. That's her seal.
Does anybody have detect magic?
Doc doesn't, because he doesn't have spells.
I believe Crixus does. I believe
it,
he
Doc.
used it in the heist. Did he
Indeed,
not?
Crixus does as a first level. Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Where's magic? Yep. No, at least got detect good and evil.
So I'm thinking we should probably detect magic on the ones that we. Well, actually, why don't you
On the
detect magic?
letters?
Detect magic
Right now?
Yeah, detect them on all the letters. Because if there's one that has. Because why would you seal it with magic unless it's important, or is that just fishing?
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily expect letters, to most part, that we saw her write to be magic, but I can certainly effort that. I mean, it's just a spell slot. So I guess I'll detect magic right now. See
Okay.
if there's anything in the area.
The 9 letters that you saw her sign detect as magic. Something about them is magical, and it's some sort of what the hell is it called? I gotta look up the schools of magic again. I can never remember them all. It's a communication style magic.
Wow. So we can tell it's not necessarily the sealing or the envelope that's magical. It's
It's
the
the
way that the
letter
writing-
itself. Yeah. There's something about it might even be the paper itself.
Interesting.
Like it probably registers as a conjuration magic, honestly.
Interesting. Very
I
interesting.
think is where it would fall in.
Okay.
Or maybe divination.
So that makes me less likely to open them because I wonder if it's like a magic read receipt. Like, this has been opened.
Ellie looks at you and goes, well, she told it. Those are report letters. Like, that's a request for a report. So there may be something about it that when they get opened, she gets notification that, hey, yes, I got this. Maybe DM telling you. It's like a read receipt on a text message. That's what she's trying to explain.
And so the thing I just said. Yeah.
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 So she has a piece of paper in front of her. When someone else opens the letter, like there's little eyeballs in the bottom of the paper that pop up.
Yeah.
You've got mail.
Bink.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah,
I
so
mean,
we should not
that's
open
what
them.
we would theorize then.
We should definitely not open them.
But the reports we saw are right. The other letters that are non-magical,
Yeah.
I mean, fair game, I think.
Yeah, that was just the 9 pre-written letters she had, and that kind of explains a bit why she would have had pre-written ones too. Like they're a magical item that she uses for
Or
reporting.
we could still read them, but we would have to wait until right before we handed them over. So it looks like we delivered it and the person read it. Like we
You
can't do it.
Theoretically.
You definitely sound like an expert in magic and magical items.
We could do that. I think in the short term, which letters are we giving to the guard? And let's move forward. We have time
Yeah.
to review our plan.
So we're keeping the tourmaline and the 2 for
Lonely Wood.
Lonelywood. Los Lonely
Tourmaline
Woods.
and Lonelywood.
Los Lonely Wood.
Los Lonely Boys.
Mm-hmm.
Los Lobos.
Los Lobos kick your ass into outer space.
All right. So you grab these 4 letters, or what? How are you doing this?
Yeah, we'll have them separated. We'll go to
Okay.
the guard, or I'm gonna go to the guard and say, "Here's these are the letters that the speaker would like you to send out." We are actually going through these towns and we will deliver them for you if that is okay.
Yeah, that would actually. I think
It
that
will certainly expedite the communication.
it would expedite the communication and also probably save on.
Save on gas.
Well,
You can use your resources in other ways. Then I think it's a way.
yeah. Make a persuasion check.
$17.
Yeah, that actually sounds like a very good idea. You should. Well, yeah. You can. Yeah. You took which ones? Just so I know, so I can tell her.
Tourmaline and Los Lonelywood.
Lonelywood and Tourmaline. Oh, that makes sense. You headed north then.
Yes, we are.
Excellent. All right.
We grabbed our weapons on the way out, I'm assuming.
Oh, they're right
Yeah.
next to the guard, aren't they?
No, they're in a thing, locked box inside.
Oh, I thought
I
the
was
guard.
hoping
I
you
thought the
guys would
guard
have
was
walked away
by.
without him. I was waiting for you to get
Oh.
day down the road. I draw my what sword?
No, I actually was gonna say that I thought it was next to the guard. I thought the guard was next to the box.
Guards
Okay.
outside.
I gotcha.
There's a small foyer room with these 4 boxes, and one which your weapons are locked in.
I'm gonna go
So you
run back
unlock-
inside and unlock the chest and
Yep.
grab my stuff.
Grab your stuff. Got it. Good.
I'll also grab my hand axes.
Yep. Yeah,
Yeah, I'll
you
just
guys
come out
grabbed
with
it.
an
I was
envelope
waiting
of
for
stuff.
one of you to mention it. To yes, you all got your stuff. But if no one mentioned it, man, that was.
I would have had my daggers, and that would have been it.
Yep. It would have
Which
been
might
really
be all you need.
to be a day north in the frozen cold with no weapons.
God. What a
Kill
pain.
something with
cats
a
would-
dagger. Yeah.
The cats would take revenge.
Yep. All right. So, what would you like to do? You have your weapons. You got the 4 letters. You leave now,
We
or you
So-
gonna?
we could
I'm-
probably get to Tourmaline before the end of day. I don't know how far Lonelywood is beyond that, but that, considering we've been there, that might not be a bad place to start the next day, unless we got something to do here.
I'm not gonna lie. I kind of want to go check out that fallen asteroid meteor thing.
That's to the south.
It is. Should we
Yes.
save that maybe for after we come back?
Yes.
All right.
Where's?
I absolutely. I am very. Crixus is very interested in heading to the prison because he feels the Arcane Brotherhood just would have so much more knowledge than what we've experienced so far. It could really open up our quest.
Yeah. True. Very true.
Doc is more interested in fighting a person than a god, so that sounds good.
To give you an idea, she mentioned that this was to the south. Oh wait, that's not it. Crap. Never mind. I'll have to look, but I know it's to the south. It was to the mountains in the south. It ends up being.
Yeah. Next session, I'm gonna need a couple of maps from you.
Yeah, I will get you. I found actually a really, really cool map. So, I don't know, where was that rumor chart? I hate digital books sometimes because I find stuff and then I don't remember where it was in the table of contents. That's actually probably should be half my notes is just table of
If
contents.
do you have the app for D&D Beyond?
That is. Oh, and you can make bookmarks.
Because you can make bookmarks in that. Yeah.
I need to put that on my tablet. I got it on my phone now. It's incredibly better than it was the first time I had it. So,
Yeah. Well, they had the 2 apps, and now they combined them, so the characters and the books are all in one. It's
and the character
pretty
app
cool.
is way more responsive than it ever was, and very snappy and very cool. So
Mhm.
you can now roll your dice in it too. So, you guys are headed north. Oh, hey, here we go. Hang on a second. Oh, okay,
Before
so it's
we-
that. Okay. It is, I can tell you right now, because now I found it. It is probably 2 days south of Dugan's Hold, or Dugan's Hole, which is probably a day south of Brinchander. So 3 days south of Brinchander would be where this meteor fell.
Yeah, that sounds like a trip for another day.
Okay.
North
Anything
it
you
is.
Anything you want to do in town before you head north?
Do we need to restock up on anything? Are we all set?
Crixus is set. Crixus does want to have a conversation with his dark passenger.
Yeah.
Because we haven't connected in a while, and basically say, I'm afraid I don't know your name, sir.
Oh, my name. My name. Did I write that in this note? Yeah. My name is Janth. 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 Yes. You still have my satchel. So that is just, I'm trying to complete my research, and if you would be so kind as to complete my research for me, and yes, just studying the flora and fauna of the area.
As we go through, if there's anything that you need, quietly and respectfully communicate that to me. If there's any way that our can continue to align, I will continue to assist you, but please recognize that our goal is larger than a collection of local flora and fauna.
Well then, you have my satchel, so you are the one that's going to help me with my research. So,
Indeed, I have no problem doing so. However, it will not be my main focus. So if you see something that you need or that we need to collect, identify it as such.
I shall do that. Yes, absolutely. For sure.
All right. Janth, all right.
That'll be fun.
And then Crixus is going to, he feels pretty warm, I guess. So he's going to kind of take off his cold weather gear and test not having the cold weather gear, considering the ring is keeping him warm.
The ring again, because I think it will actually work for most case scenarios. I think there's one scenario where it's going to affect you differently, but I think for the most part the ring protects you.
Okay, well, I'm going to have to find that out.
Yep.
So I'm going to test taking off the clothes and making sure that it works and I understand the ring's purpose.
Yep. So take it off.
Just remember that if you're doing that here in front of people, you're going to look very odd to them.
I mean, we're the big deal, so I'm going to look odd to them anyway because we're like rock stars at some point, right? So I want to stand out.
All just want to be big rock stars wearing rings of driving fancy dog sleds. Sure.
Let's workshop that one.
I think Tom muted me when I started saying that.
I thought about it.
As soon as it came up. Ooh,
Stream went down. Sorry, guys.
tell us.
Yeah. So, rounding up the dog sleds, headed to the north.
Yep.
All right, so you get out on the road. Someone make a die roll.
A what?
A d6. Someone roll a d6.
Doc?
Anyone? Doc got it? Doc got it.
2.
2! It is
Well, it didn't roll very well, but 2.
It is a cloudy, sunless day. But the clouds being overhead kind of reflect the light of the 10 towns back on you, and it's actually seems a bit brighter than a moonless, everlasting night.
You can tell which direction the towns are. The towns.
Yes, yeah, and you actually do. You can see it reflecting off the clouds in the distance. You're heading back to Tourmaline. Your travel through the day goes without hitch. There's no cats. It's become a kind of a well-worn path for you. You're seeing your trail back and forth a little bit. You have certain markers, certain mountains, hills that you've kind of seen, and wooded areas that, like, you travel a highway enough, you go, oh yeah, this is this and that looks that, and I like this place because these trees here, or this part of the trail turns. You end up in Tourmaline without issue that evening. So what would you like to do in Tourmaline?
Send Aaron onto the bar again? Oh.
Yeah,
wait.
I was going to say, I'm going to go have a drink and then hit the hay, because I would like to... I'm going to tell everybody I want to get going as soon as possible. I want to get this trip up. I want to get there quickly. We have a mission, and I want to see where this goes.
Do you want one of us to run the letters to the speaker? He's probably at the bar. Or is that where you want to go?
Just going to say, we have to review. If we're going to look at the letters that are non-magical, we need to do that before handing them to the speaker.
Yes. So my thought would be, get our room, light a candle. I can attempt to be stealthy about it, kind of heat up my knife and slide the wax off. That way, if you don't want to use your spell to mend it, or we can just break it and mend it.
Yeah, I think just breaking it and mending it, that's the best way forward.
Okay, so in case it's actually tracked by location, we should do it right outside the bar.
Well, yep. Okay.
I mean, we saw her stealing those letters. I don't know that there's anything special about the 9 that are magical. I mean, I'd be more concerned about the other one.
Right.
There was one for each Lonelywood and Tourmaline that were not of the 9, correct?
Correct. Yep.
So
the 9 were for the other 9 towns, Brinchander being the 10th town. And then there was a letter to each of those as well that was not magical. That you guys, the magical ones are the ones you saw her write and seal.
I guess I just want to know what's in all of them, so that's...
Well, try one that's
let's
not
open
magical.
The non-magical.
See how well it mends.
Yeah, let's open the non-magical letter to Tourmaline.
All right.
First.
Okay, who's opening it?
I will.
Not I.
Aranon, alright, make a dexterity saving throw to open it. Or
It's
dexterity
trapped.
check. Dexterity check. Dexterity check. Not saving throw. You're not trying to avoid something. You're trying to do something.
Could
13.
be avoiding a paper cut.
It's 13. Yeah, with your dagger, you kind of pry at it a little bit, making sure you aren't wrinkling the paper, and it snaps cleanly along. You're out in the freezing cold outside this bar. It snaps, and you're able to open it. It is a report as you read it. It is a report of Brinchander, and it lists out the other 10 towns. It's basically a status report saying this is where we're at a conglomeration of the 10 towns.
Like supplies, military strength.
Yeah,
that kind of stuff.
East Haven's had some trouble here. Dugan's Hole has had this problem. Tourmaline's mine is back under functioning again. The Black Iron Blades is up and running again. You're seeing mention of some of the deeds done around town, and it's kind of a status report of the 10 Towns area and everything that is going on. So seems fairly innocuous. There's nothing that's really
Does it look like the right cover pages on the TPS report?
Yeah, yes, it absolutely does. You do see that that Bremen, there's a report that they're still having problems with the lake monster. There is let's see what else in Caer Konig. Let's see, what is their issue? There's a group of invisible thieves. It says that seems to have some emphasis that this is being looked into further by Brinchander authorities as well. That the Brinchander is assisting with trying to investigate what's going on in Caer Konig. And it goes on listing a couple of different things, just the town's issues that they may be having and whatnot. So reports, financial reports, military reports, all those things. Sacrifice reports.
Interesting.
It's a little disturbing. You figure out, you could actually look through there and figure out who's sacrificing what to Oral.
Yes.
And I think, Crixus, if you want to mend that letter up, we'll stop right there.
Doodle-doo, doodle-doo, doodle-doo.
Yeah. All right. Good session. Lots of information in this one. Lots.
A lot.
Awesome.
Moving forward.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to sit down with my notes and when I re-listen to it to be sure I.
There's a lot. Like when I went.
Yeah.
You guys don't have anywhere
I
to
filled
go.
the page. I filled the whole page.
Yeah.
We kind of ended last session where it's like, wow, you don't really have a tail to follow right now, do you? Now you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different tails that got presented that you can could choose and go, and you're following one of them already. So, yeah.
I have 3 branches, so I'm gonna have to re-listen.
Yeah, I have like 3 or 4.
There's the comet, the whale.
There's the comet, the whale, the prison,
the prison,
the
and then the
lake
ones that,
monster, the invisible thieves, and
whatever she was
the
talking about.
Task she wants us to do. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
So all those things coming up. Stuff to do! Yay!
All right. Nice. So we're gonna call that a session for today. Thanks to everybody for popping in. We will be doing show titles after the credits, so stick around. Vote on some show titles. Go to this link that I am putting in chat right now to vote. Click on that. Put in that.
And thanks for the active participation by the chat group. It helps to shape our tales. So thank you.
Some suggestions on how to get around things and do things.
Yeah, I'm not above. Taking
not
notes
above
from
learning
from the chat. Yeah, that too. So yeah,
I was waiting. Like you said, you were gonna melt it. I'm like, if you melt it, that's not gonna be.
No, I wasn't gonna melt it. I didn't say I was gonna melt it. I was gonna take my knife and heat it up and slide it underneath to lift it up.
Yeah.
Try to remove it without melting. Or without.
Yeah. I was gonna say though, if you melted that seal, that would have been problematic because I don't know if you would have been able to re-represent that seal. Yep. Although you do have another letter with that, so you might have been able to get around that a bit.
So yeah, thanks to everybody in chat for following and for talking to us. And Ow. That's all good, Zoe. Zoe Brings Bacon was in chat today. Very exciting.
Yay!
Scoot and Jack was in chat this morning. Very exciting.
Bacon for everybody.
Yep, we love it when people come and talk to us and listen. You can follow us on twitch.tv/TomMNorm. We are on Twitter. I am at Tom M. Norman. Cooch is at Crazy Cooch. Lazy Dragon is at... Holy crap.
Lazy Dragon
Lazy
GB.
Dragon GB.
Lazy Dragon GB. Oh. And JC is
I'm testing you this
Wildfire1265, yeah. We are Two Nerds, One Quest. And if you want to support us, share this with other people. We accept Amazon Prime subscriptions now on the channel. So you can just click. It is free to you if you have Amazon Prime. Go and click subscribe. Get notifications. You get access to little chat emojis. There's some benefits. It's pretty fun. And otherwise, you can go to patreon.com/2nerds1quest, number 2 nerds, number 1 quest. If you would like to support us, we have some fun and very exciting rewards, such as the poll that goes up monthly.
Maypole.
The maypole that John is going to be dancing on later.
Maypole, catch and carry, ashen elm, elderberry. And anyone that understands that reference, I love you.
So yeah, go dance on the maypole. Apparently, yeah, we have some other stuff in there too, but that seems to be the one that has been fun and popular. So go in for $1 a month. You get the podcast version. So if you miss a session, you don't have time to watch the video, you get your own podcast feed through Patreon.
Yay!
$1 a month gets you that, as well as our Discord access. Hop in Discord, say hi, ask us questions. Discord access is free for everybody and open to everybody. So, yeah.
Come join us.
Come
If you want
join
to
us.
talk D&D, you want to talk video, it's all that stuff is in Discord.
Correct. So, for me, for JC, for Cooch, and for Mr. Lazy Dragon, we will catch you on the flip side.
Poof.
We're a big deal now.